Hello and welcome to Spectrum Television News at 12. I am Uyai Anyekan coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Let's take a look at the headlines. Vice President Kashim Shettima says measures to tackle challenges in Northwest underway. Interior Minister Tunji Ojo says President Tinubu ordered recapture of fleeing inmates. Plus, Governor Bogoma says Ukrainian sabotage operation foiled in Russia's Bryansk region. We will bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. First in the news this afternoon is a report that the federal government's initiative to tackle the security and economic challenges in the north, particularly in the northwest, is underway. The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, stated this during a meeting with the Coalition of Northern States Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture at the Presidential Villa Abuja. Members of the agency were led into the meeting with the Vice President by their President, Dalhatu Abubakar. The Vice President during the meeting said the North needs re-engineering and re-strategizing to fast-track development in the region. Away from that, the Minister of Interior Bumi Tunji Ojo has said that the President Bola Tinubu has issued a marching order that all fleeing inmates across the country should be recaptured. Addressing journalists after the inspection of facilities at the Nigerian Immigration Service and Nigerian Correctional Service, Tunji Ojo said the service would work hard to ensure the order given by the President on fleeing inmates is followed to the letter. He also said the Nigerian Correctional Service would work in collaboration with the security agencies in the country to recapture the inmate. Recall that between 2021 and 2022, at least 7 attacks were reported on custodial centers across the country, where a large number of inmates escaped from the centers. In a separate development, the Nigerian government and the United Nations have signed 2 memorandums of understanding (MOU) to further strengthen counter-terrorism efforts in the country. In a statement by the head of Strategic Communications Office of the National Security Advisor, Zachary Minjinyawa, the MOUs would help deepen the fight against terrorism in the country. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, who was represented by the National Coordinator of the National Counter-Terrorism Center, Rear Admiral Yem Musa, noted that the 2 memorandums of understanding signaled a momentous milestone in cementing Nigeria's partnership with UNOCT toward enhanced collective counter-terrorism efforts. Meanwhile, United Nations Under Secretary General Office of Counter-Terrorism, Vladimir Voronkov, said the MOUs envisaged further cooperation in various areas, including countering terrorist travel, financing of terrorism, border and maritime security, and delivery of counter-terrorism training in Nigeria. On electoral matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has opened the portal for the recruitment of ad hoc staff ahead of the Imo, Bayelsa and Kogi governorship polls. According to the Electoral Empire, interested Nigerians can begin application process for the off-season polls today, August 31st, noting that the portal for the recruitment exercise will be closed on October 2nd, 2023. The INEC body charged interested applicants to visit press.inecnigeria.org or inecpress.app to begin the process. In another development, data from the National Identity Management Commission (NIMC) has revealed that the Commission has only been able to meet 47.6% of the federal government's monthly target of 2.5 million registrations in the first 8 months of the year. It said this as the number of Nigerians with national identification numbers increased to 102.39 million in August, despite a slowdown in the number of enrollments. According to the NIMC data, enrollment has fallen by 35.14% year-on-year in the first 8 months of the year, as only 8.36 million people as of August 28 have enrolled for NIN this year, from the 12.89 million people that had enrolled as of July 7, 2022. Away from that, the National Union of Local Government Employees (NOLGE) has called for an investigation and monitoring of statutory allocations to the local government councils in the country. The union also decried the dearth of infrastructure and development in the councils, which it said has affected the growth at the grassroots. The national president of the union, Hakeem Ambali, stated this in an interview with newsmen in Abuja against the backdrop of a petition filed with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (AFCC) and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) by the chairman of Ijebu East Local Government Area, Wale Adedayo, against Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun over alleged diversion of council allocations. He said the union would continue to call for local government autonomy and plead President Bola Tinubu to intervene in the situation. Back here on the home front, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Omoino yesterday announced the release of 1 billion naira, being the first tranche of the state government's donation to augment the palliative package received from the federal government. He also assured that the commencement of distribution of palliatives to residents of the state begins on Monday, September the 4th, 2023. Addressing journalists at Government House, the governor also announced the approval of 2 billion naira as another tranche for payment of gratuities to retired teachers in both the state and local government service, reaffirming his commitment to the one project per local government area initiative. Responding to the youth's protest in the state, Governor Aino assured that with state government's augmentation of the 3,000 bags of rice and 2 billion naira so far received from the federal government, the over 2,270 villages in the state should be hopeful to get 50 bags of rice each. Meanwhile, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Omoino also announced his determination to support Akwa Ibom State University Ikorakwaden campus in Bahrain local government area in the completion of their hostel project and an intervention in the construction of internal roads in the school. The governor, who made the announcement during the familiarization tour of facilities at the school, assured that the State Commissioner for Education, Udonga Secretariat, and her Works Department and counterpart, Professor Enoibanga, have been directed to work on the interventions respectively. Governor Eno used the occasion to thank the university community and TEDFON for their support during the electioneering period, which also contributed to his emergence as the governor of the state, and pledged his commitment to delivering the dividends of democracy to the people in justification of his election as their leader. Earlier, the pro-chancellor of the university, Udoma, who thanked Governor Eno for honoring the invitation, assured the governor that an improved state university will make a good contribution to the Arise agenda of his government. He stated his determination to making the school one of the first-class universities. Meanwhile, the governor, who also visited the temporary site of the Federal University of Technology in Ikorobasi, assured them of his readiness to support them in the construction of 15 classroom blocks and renovation of one hostel for the institution. We move now to Africa, where army officers who seized power in a coup in Gabon have named General Brice Oligui Nguema as the West African state's transitional leader. Nguema was reportedly carried through the streets by the capital, Libreville, by his troops to display the new era. Meanwhile, the deposed president, Ali Bongo, in a video at his home, called for world leaders to quickly intervene in the country. Still in Africa, Johannesburg Emergency Management Services spokesman Robert Mwaldazi has said that 73 bodies have now been found in the building blaze. Mwaldazi noted that more than 52 people have been injured from the incident. He added that search and recovery operations are still in process. On the foreign scene, Russian authorities in the southwestern Bryansk region bordering Ukraine have thwarted a Ukrainian sabotage operation, killing 2 of the alleged saboteurs and detaining 5 others. Bryansk Governor Alexander Bogomas, in a